Hi! Sometimes solving equations related with anything in physics may be difficult for you, so today we're going to work on an equation of waves and how to solve for any case, okay? So we're going to talk about this exercise that relates the speed, frequency and wavelength of a wave. And it says that the speed of a wave is 3.0 centimeters per second, frequency is about 9.5 kilohertz, and we have to determine the wavelength. Okay, so to do that, just remember that the speed of the wave could be measured or could be determined by the frequency times the wavelength, or if you prefer, wavelength times frequency. Okay, so some people used to do like this triangle, like S, F, and lambda. Okay, and this is the way to determine the solution of any of this. If you have frequency and speed, so you can have wavelength. If you have frequency and wavelength, you can have the speed. If you have a wavelength and speed, you can have the frequency. Okay, so it's so simple. We just have to take into account that here we have the frequency, so we have this, and we have the speed. Okay, but this is something it's better to do in terms of you like do not complicate too much your life, and is to put everything in SI units. Okay, if you don't want to put it in SI units, put it in CGS units or English units, okay, or British units. But we're going to, as we're practicing as well SI units, we're going to put it in SI units. So, speed of the wave. So we're going to start with the speed of the wave. The speed says that is 3.0 centimeters per second, right? So you know that if you want it in meters, you have to divide by 100. So the speed is going to be 0.0030 meters per second. Okay, and the frequency is 9.5 kilohertz. So the frequency 9.5 kilohertz, we're gonna convert it into hertz. Kilo means 1,000, so this is just that the frequency is 9,500. Okay, 9.5 times 1,000 hertz. Okay, now we just need to multiply this two. Okay, I'm gonna do it by hand. You can use a calculator, obviously, but this is like quite simple. I made a mistake when I converted. I divided by 100. You know, divide by 100. Look, 1,000. It's 0.030. You know. Okay, sometimes we make mistakes. No problem. So look at. So to have the wavelength, we need to divide speed over frequency. Okay, you need the wavelength, so speed over frequency gets the wavelength. Or if you solve the equation here for wavelength, you just need to divide, so wavelength equals speed over frequency. So okay, so the only thing we have to do is to divide the speed, 0.030 meters per second over 9,500 hertz. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna use a calculator here. Look at scientific calculator, even that is to divide numbers. It's good to use a scientific calculator. 0.030 divided 9,500 equals. Okay, you can see here the number. So the wavelength is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 3158 meters. Okay, but here's the thing. Remember that in physics we have to use significant figures. So this is part of another video, so I'm just going to do it quickly. In another video I explained the operation with significant figures. So quickly, the significant figures here are 2, and here we have 2 significant figures, so the answer just can have 2 significant figures. It means that the wavelength is going to be 0.0000032 meters. Okay, so this is in SI units the wavelength, but maybe you want it in scientific notation, so let's put it in scientific notation. Let's practice. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the wavelength is 3.2 times 10 to the negative 6 meters. Okay, or maybe you prefer to put it using a conversion of units. 10 to the minus 6, it's micro, so lambda equals 3.2 micrometers. Okay, so you can write one of these 3 options. It's allowed usually. You know, this is like the first approach. This is an excellent approach using significant figures, and this is highly used when you want to check orders of magnitude. And this is the way you can solve any problem, okay? So take into account that if you have the wave equation, okay, and in other books the wave equation is different, but let's say that this is the wave equation or the relation between speed, wavelength, and frequency. So to find one of these, you can apply this triangle or solve the equation, multiply. My hint for you, if you're studying in physics, is to use SI units or another system of units. And finally, after the division, take into account the significant figures. Okay, and you have 3 options to write. So this is that for this exercise. I hope that you understand. If you don't understand something, give me a comment, give me your like, subscribe to my YouTube, send me messages. You know that all my social networks are the same, so you just have to follow me and tell me if you need something about this. So see you in the next time, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Goodbye. Oops. Okay.